You're live.
Yeah. Hello there. Hi, Betty,
Hello
Alice, Brenda. Hi, Betty, Alice, Brenda. Hi, Betty, Alice, Brenda. I had turned my volume down on the TV. Oh. 107 degrees in North Texas. Yikes! That's terrible. Well, at least you can be in card making with me. Hello, Betty, Alice, Andrea, Maria. Thelma, if you're out there, hello. Thank you. A 102 in Phoenix today. A cold front. What is it here, honey? About 80?
77 at the moment.
Oh, it's only 77 in Portland. Beautiful. Pretty outside and not too hot. There we go. Now I can see you. You can see me. You zoomed in more.
No.
Yes, you did.
Did not.
Let's take a look at our kits, ladies. Hello, Betty McSorley. Oh, I've been looking forward to this, guys. This is a fun class. We need to adjust our camera angle on this one up. Can I do this? Just like a little bit. There. That's better. I'm getting something. Oh, I'm getting the frame.
No. Oh. Yeah. You
I'm
just
still
turn
getting
the
the
ring.
frame.
Move the ring. There. That's fine.
Well, it'd be fine if it stay there. Okay. Okay. That's better. Okay. You can see, yeah, you can see my lovely face, yeah. Probably see the dark circles because I've been working all night. Wait till you see what I've been coming up with, though. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's look at our kit. We have our beautiful Dove cards today. Beautiful, beautiful. This topper set is
Mirri
just...
Thelma?
Hi, Mary.
She said, is that Thelma, though? She says, I finally figured out how to chat.
No,
No, that's another
Nope.
one. All right.
that's Mary T. Hello, Mary. Oh, there's Kathy Schuttenheim. Hello, hello. Okay, here's our beautiful Dove toppers. Our beautiful cardstock. Oh, love it, love it, love it. This corner was just too pretty, so I had to turn this into a... Hello, Carol. Brenda. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, everybody. I had to turn this corner into a shaker card because that's just too pretty for words there. Okay, let's see what we got here. In addition to our cardstock, we should have a roll of shaker tape. Brittany said I drove her crazy with this class with all my little one-of-a-kinds and my 4 little jewels here. I'm going to put my jewels, my rhinestones, and my brad back in this little envelope so I can't manage to lose them before I'm ready for them. In addition, we had glitter. We have acetate snowflakes. We have shaker components. I'll put all those right there till I'm ready for them. We have acetate for a shaker. We have a couple of sheets of Mirri. We have our envelopes, which I will set out of the way for now. We have 4 cards in total today. We have that beautiful blue cardstock. That's just yummy. Okay, set those out of the way for now. Okay, we got a 5x7, we got a 5x5, we got an A6, a European A6, and we have our lovely dimensional card. Let's go ahead and get started. I think. Hi, Lori. Welcome, welcome. I think that we will start today with our corner card. No, we'll start with our 5x7. We'll start with our 5x7, which uses this piece of cardstock, a 5x7. It will use our largest of our punch outs. It will use our Christmas wishes, which is sort of below the 5x7, the little round one. And that should do us for supplies. Set these off to the side for a minute. Okay. Oh, great. I'm so glad, Andrea. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you can work along this time then. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead. And on this one, I did not cover my card with Mirri. I'll make sure that that Ashley knows about your comment, Andrea. It's so nice. I've noticed a lot of you writing notes to Ashley on your orders. That's really cool that you guys are doing that. She kind of works by herself down there most of the time, and I like it when I see that everybody is spoiling her a little. That's a good thing. I wish you guys could see from your camera angle what I see in mine. Bryce is over there monitoring the computer and making sure that everything is staying copacetic for us, and Teddy is laying in his lap with his head wrapped over Bryce's arm and just snoozing. He's got his eyes closed and the most satisfied look on his face. It's cute. It really varies depending on what's happening with Amazon, but what do you think we have daily in orders, Bryce, now?
50
About
to 75.
Nah, I don't think it's quite that many
Depends on the
usually.
day.
On Mondays, she'll have 75 to 100. And on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to say she has somewhere in the area of 40 orders a day she gets out. And she actually works part-time, so she hustles during the time she's here. I'm telling you, she's moving along. Okay. All right. I put my 3 rows of tape down, as you guys know. That's what I like to do when I'm covering my card. So I'm going to go ahead and peel my tape and cover with this large, beautiful piece of cardstock. I just love this one. So pretty. So we'll match this up, taking care to match our folded edge first, because that's the most important. Anything else can be trimmed, but that folded edge, we're kind of stuck with that. We have to hide it in other ways if we happen to get that off a little bit. Pull my garbage closer. We have a little different setup today. Bryce has switched the cameras around, and I think we're going to get a lot clearer pictures doing things this way, so we'll see what you guys think. Okay. As you know, once I put my card down on my cardstock, I'm just going to flip it over and cut around my card, because that's the quickest and easiest way to get a card covered. We end up with a beautiful card cover and very little work, and that looks good. So we're going to get our 3-piece topper here. We're going to punch out our pieces. Now on this one, in my sample, yeah. Oh, no, I thought for a minute I did something different, but I didn't. But this is where we're going. Isn't that pretty? This is just the most beautiful card kit. What? Oh, I need to speak up? Okay, sorry. That's not usually. Hello, Deborah. Welcome, welcome. I'm not usually soft-spoken, so that's not usually an issue for me. Oh, there's Kim. Hi, Kim. Is Katie with you? Okay. We're going to put some foam squares on our topper. This is a fairly narrow ring, so as you know, I tend to use a lot of foam squares when they're little narrow pieces like this one, because they can get a little saggy if we don't. So I'm going probably every 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch around here. Hi, Avis. I hope everybody's having a good week or has had a good week. I certainly did. Margie was here helping me work on the Craftigans. Wait till you see some of her ideas. My goodness, that lady is a marvel with creative ideas. Wait till you see them. Oh my gosh. Now Margie's cards are all going to be in the download. So I am sure you guys are going to enjoy seeing some of her creations. Oh my gosh. Remember the Barbie doll? The one that I called the headless Barbie doll? It's in the Christmas Sparkle kit. And they have the glittery dresses, but they didn't, I called it the headless Barbie doll. Well, Margie wanted to know which card kits I wanted her to do, and I handed her that one. Oh my gosh, it's now one of my favorites, guys. It's beautiful. You won't believe what she did with it. Maybe we should give them a preview. Oh, Bryce says no?
It's a surprise.
Oh, I know it's a surprise, but if they see it, they're going to want it.
You're going to want it anyway.
Hello, Mary. Oh, wow. It's just stunning. Let me tell you that it has double stick tape, glitter, 2 different kinds of ribbon, and she pleated a lace skirt. Bryce isn't going to show you, but I might have to slide over and get that box and show you just for a preview, because it's gorgeous, I'm telling you. The whole kit's beautiful. She's a creative genius, I'm telling you. I told Margie after I saw that card that she finished, why don't you just let me know what time class is on Saturday and I'll be there. Bryce had this camera angle all situated so you didn't see any of my junk off to the side here. But we all have that. We're crafters. We all have those piles of absolutely necessary supplies sitting by waiting for us to use them. He just to surprise me, had my desk all cleaned off when I came out here today, so I wouldn't have to do it. And he had the camera shot on just the right part of the desk so you wouldn't see any of my mess. And then I moved it. It's more important to me that you guys have a good view of what I'm doing now. Now I'm popping the middle ring. As you guys know, I often, as long as we have 3 pieces, I think we should use those to create added dimensions. So I am, my glue's still good. So I am going to recess this one piece. We put 2 pieces up on foam tape, and then we're going to recess just this one piece. And this new little technique, I know it's not new anymore because I've shared it for a couple weeks now, but this really works well to just follow the edge of your ring around the inside and pop this inside so that you don't get glue all over the raised topper when you're putting this one in. That, I don't know why I didn't think of that before, but that just works slick. We'll put some foam squares on this one. Sometimes it's the simplest little techniques that make our life easier, isn't it? Well, it goes the little things you say, how come I didn't think of that 20 years ago? Yeah. Okay, this one's a much bigger topper. It doesn't need as many foam squares. So I'm only putting these about every inch or so and one in the middle. Oh, thank you, Mirri. Bob's not out here right now. He's sleeping out in the lawn swing out the door. Like I said, it's kind of a perfect 70-something day out there today, and he's enjoying a nice snooze in the yard swing. You keep getting that thing closer and closer. Pretty soon it's going to be touching my nose.
You keep going out of camera because you're leaning one side or the other.
Well,
sit up straight. As your mother says.
Bryce is chasing me with the picture-in-picture camera. I don't want to be this close today.
You don't have a choice.
I'm here with wet hair and thing, and then other people don't want to see me. All the detail. Now you got half my face.
Well.
But that's probably good. The other half is wet hair.
Do we get the right half is the question.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Hi, Annette. Welcome, friend. Okay. And then on this one, I want to put foam squares at the top of this one because it kind of overlaps my card.
Can you move your work over, center your tape? There you go. That's a little better.
Okay.
Your card was kind of off camera.
I can do that.
I'm gonna still do this.
Well, let me just put these on here. Then I want to have to chase down where I'm putting them on my topper. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue here to hold this little piece in place, as well as my foam squares. My foam squares will help hold it up where it's kind of hanging over. And we'll put this pretty little Christmas greeting here. This one just says Christmas wishes, but it's so pretty. There we go, guys. There's card one.
Can you hold it toward the camera a little more? There you go. That's pretty.
Remove my PNP. Okay. Hi, Edith. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm using, but my standard go-to squares are usually 5 by 5 by 2. I like the level of dimension that I get with those, the 2 millimeter. Sometimes I like 3 also, but 2 by 2, no, let's try that again. 5 by 5 millimeters and 2 millimeters deep. We also have them, and I really like those too. In the hobby journal ones, we have them that are 5 by 5, but they're 3 millimeters deep, and I really like those too. So, okay, that takes care of those.
Deborah asked back there.
Oh,
if you
did I
would
miss a
talk
question?
about the download. She thinks she missed hearing about what download was.
Oh, Deborah, we are, anybody who got their kits from us is going to get an email from me that says, it will say like important message or something in the headline that says something about the download. Everybody who got their kit from us is going to is going to, this is my sample, Edith, and the one we just made. They're very slightly different, but they're both beautiful. The download, you're going to get an email from me that says, that says something in the headline like your download code or something of that nature in the subject line. Be sure you keep those, because when you go to purchase your download, if you bought your kit from us, is going to be free. That's if you got the Craftiganza or any of the luxury sets from us, the luxury being the big card kit, then you're going to get the download that accompanies that free. The download will include all of the cards that we've done in class for that set, as well as all of the rest of the cards from that from that full set. So for example, Christmas Sparkle, I did, I think, 3 of those cards in classes, 3 of the sets, and the other 7 will be included in the download. So you'll be able to see what I created, what Margie and I created out of all the rest of the toppers. We won't do them step by step like we do some of the other things. Instead, we'll be talking about, I'll show you the card and then I'll just kind of go step by step and tell you how we created each of those individual cards. So you'll be able to get a really good view of how to complete the rest of your cards. If you just want some more ideas on how you could do it. Because a lot of you, that's what you say you like, is that you love putting the cards together, but kind of need a jump start on the inspiration. So we're here to provide the inspiration for all of the rest of your cards. And yes, it's festive. You know, one thing about working on Christmas cards in the middle of the summer is that I get to wear my Christmas shirts. So yeah, meet me under the mistletoe, Bryce.
It's still growing.
Oh, Bryce says he's still growing the mistletoe. Okay. Alrighty, let's do our next card. Let's see, what do I want to do? Let's do this corner. So we're going to take that cardstock sheet. We're going to need a piece of our A6 Mirri. We're going to need our A6 card blank. We're going to need this piece onEarth topper right here. And we're going to be using glitter. So we'll get our, instead of using up their little glitter that they've already pre-packed, I'm going to cheat and use one of my glitter vials here. That way I can send this glitter packet out to one of the rest of you. You probably have 15 of these now, but I feel like if I use glitter in the cards, I want you to have glitter. So I'm going to set that aside for the girls to give to somebody else. We're going to use the larger of the 2 snowflakes here. And we're going to use the rhinestones here. So those are all our supplies for this card.
Margie's online.
Margie, hey! I have to agree via peer pressure to be on camera.
One of the girls asked if Margie could be on camera.
Oh, yay! You know what? I've been trying to get Margie on camera. And when Margie, I think Margie should really present Margie's cards and tell you about them. Don't you guys think so? Yeah? Yay! How much for the download? I didn't find you for these. I just purchased a lot of cards, stitching products from you. The downloads, I haven't set the price yet, Deborah, but they're going to be nominal. It's really just kind of a reward for those who did purchase their kits from us, and it's not going to be terribly expensive. I I need to just see what I've got in it before I put a price on it. But I think it's going to be in the $5 to $8 range for the download. And then if you're wanting the download for the entire Craftigans, I'll probably do like something called a season pass or something like that, where you can get a code to all of them for a nominal price. So that's what I'm thinking at this point. But yeah, so that's great. Yes, Margie, look at all these people who think they should that you should show your face. Yes. Oh, good girl. Thank you, guys. Margie thinks she's a little camera shy, but you know, she did some amazing. I don't know if you were out there, Margie, when I was talking about your creative endeavors this year, but she has gone above and beyond with some of the creative ideas that she has for you. So I would love it if she explained how she made those cards. I think that would be great. That would be really wonderful. Which snowflake? I have 3. You want the largest of the 3 snowflakes, Betty? We're just going to use this. I'll tell you what my thinking was on this card. When I put the dove down in the corner and I used this peace on earth, which I really liked the message of having the peace on earth and the village here, and then the bird off to the left. I loved that, but it looked a little vacant. It just looked like it needed more. And that's why I added this snowflake underneath to kind of create a flourish under that peace on earth, and I love it now. But that's why I have the snowflake here. Sometimes you just need an extra added element to kind of fill the space and bring it all together. And I could have tied a bow here. That would have been another option. But since I had these snowflakes sitting here, I tried it and I liked the way it looked. So that's why we have the snowflake on here. And this is where we're going, by the way, guys. Okay. I've got my tape down on my card. Boy, I look shaggy, honey. I think this is the day you have to get picture in picture right up to the...
Well, next time you'll get out earlier.
Right. Can we buy the download if we didn't buy the big kit? Yes, you can. If you bought any part of the if you bought any of the luxury set, for example, if you bought just the Christmas Sparkle, you're going to get the download for Christmas Sparkle. If you didn't buy the luxury kit, you will be able to buy the download. It's just that the code that I'm sending to everybody else, that's a coupon code that will make theirs free. Does that make sense? I know it's all new and it's different, and I just wanted to do something that acknowledged and rewarded those of you who were purchasing your kits from us. See, I got my Mirri just a little bit off. See that little strip of white? I'm going to trim that off. I don't get shook about that when I do that. I just use my nifty jifty trimmer and I trim that away. And then it looks good again. And only me and 2,500 of my closest friends know I did it. Okay, so I am using a card that is 5 7/8 long by 4 1/8 wide. I'm going to cut this piece to... I was looking to see if I'm using this for anything else and how precise I need to be. I'm going to go to 5, just a little over 5 5/8 wide at this point. And I'm going to go to 3 7/8. So theoretically this should fit just right. 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. Give me a nice narrow border. I am going to trim just a tiny bit off my 5 5/8 because I trimmed my card down just a little bit extra, and I want to recapture that bit that I adjusted there. Now I think that's just right. Now there's two ways I can put this on. I can put this on with glue, or I can put this on with tape. You guys all know about tape flags. I know that you guys are all regular viewers, so I'm just going to glue this one down. The one caution I have about using glue is that you want to if you're gluing toppers down, if you're gluing mirror board down, I like to advise that you kind of run your finger around your bead of glue and kind of smooth that a little bit, because it can actually add bulk to your card that ends up showing, especially if you're gluing Mirri board, because the mirror is lighter weight than our regular cardstock. It's good to kind of smooth your glue so that you don't have a little ridge there where the glue is.
Let's see Brenda's question.
Will there be materials used? Yes, you will get. I don't think we'll put together. This is the first time we're doing the downloads, guys. So I'm not being evasive. I'm just still figuring out how we're going to do it all. But my thinking is that I will just print a materials list in the newsletter, so you can go out and get just the supplies that you want. You know, there's sometimes you'll have things in your stash that you'll be able to substitute for some of the supplies that we used. So my thinking is, and it will be a fairly long list because, you know, there's a lot of card kits, 7, you know, again, I'm using Festive Sparkle just as an example. 7 card kits, there's quite a bit that you guys, a lot of supplies that we've used. Now, in many cases, you're going to have something that you're going to be able to substitute for some of those. So rather than putting together a card kit that might be fairly expensive, I'm thinking that we might want to go ahead and just give you a supplies list for that one. That's my thinking at this point. We have Festive Sparkle and Santa and Friends finished. And we are, let's see, Santa and Friends, Festive Sparkle. I am over halfway through the Winter Wishes, and I have 8 out of 10 still to do on the Festive Memories kit. But boy, we're making great progress. Great progress. Yeah, Deborah, exactly. I want you to be able to use stuff in your stash. You know, if you're just continually adding and adding and adding, you know, you don't get stuff used up you already have. So if you can substitute something to make it work, I'm all in favor of that. Now, your snowflake, guys, might not look exactly like mine. The snowflake acetate sheets that we have in the store and that I'm using for this kit basically have 3 sizes of snowflakes on them. And some styles will work better than the others. So get your medium and your largest snowflakes and look at them. I like the way this is going to look for this one. I think this one will work really nicely. But I gave you both the medium and the large one so you could kind of compare and see which one you liked the best. Now this is going to look a little bit different than this one did, but I think they're both going to be beautiful. Forget my thumb in there, but I have to hold it in place. I think they'll both look beautiful. So you just choose the one you like the best for your card design. Okay? But that's my thinking again there. It's just adding, you know, we just punched out all of the acetate, made them in 3 sizes, or 3 sizes of piles, and then we just gave you one of each, so you kind of pick. Alrighty, now I could use Best Glue Ever on my acetate, and that's what I would generally recommend, but you don't have to on this one, and I'll tell you why. The acetate sticks really well to the tape. It's just that you see the tape through the acetate. But we can put tape on the back of this tag and hold this snowflake in place really nicely with the tag. Does that make sense? So let me show you what I'm going to do here. I want this to, on my snowflake, now you may have to alter just a little bit for your snowflake style, but I want mine to come down about like that. So I'm going to take some tape, I'm going to put on the back of my tag. And by the way, you know, this tag actually has a little hole punch in the top of it. I don't want that to pop out, so I'm going to put tape right over that hole too.
I'm going to ask if snowflakes are silver on the other side.
Yes, they are. Silver from one side, gold on the other. You are exactly correct. Okay, so I want that hole to stay in there, so I've taped that. I've put tape all the way across the bottom of my piece on Earth here. And then I can use that to attach it to my snowflake, and that's going to be plenty of attachment. But just to make sure this all stays put, I'm going to put another piece of tape here, and this time I'm going to overlap my snowflake in the back because, of course, it doesn't matter if there's tape on the back of the acetate in the area that doesn't show, right? So I actually have two pieces of tape, one going under the acetate, one going over the acetate. That's going to hold that snowflake really firmly to my card. And even though the very bottom of this part will not be glued, it will be sufficiently attached that it's going to look great on my card. So now I'm going to position this. I just want to watch out that I'm not completely covering up my olive branch. So I'm going to play with it a little bit and see where I want this to go. I come in just under my olive branch, I think, on this one. So that's where I put it. Now I'm going to place my rhinestones. And you may decide that based on the style of your snowflake, you do or don't want rhinestones on them. That's okay. I'm still going to put some on mine because I like the shininess that they add. I'm not going to put them right at the end, though, like I did on my other card. I think I'm going to put them up just a little bit, let that kind of teardrop that's on the end of this particular. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me get these on here and then I'll hold it up. There's a little teardrop at the very end of these snowflakes that I think is pretty. So I'm going to position these just above that teardrop because I think it'll be nice. And then I put one rhinestone right above the word peace. Why? I don't know. Just because I thought it was pretty there. Sometimes that's why I do a lot of things, guys. It's because I think they're pretty there. Okay. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. I usually just put my rhinestones down with my finger and then move them slightly if they need it. But I like the way that looks. Move this one out just a tad. There we go. Okay, I've got my 3 little rhinestones on my corner. I've got my rhinestones. I hope you can see that. See what I'm talking about? On my particular snowflake, I kind of had that little teardrop at the end. So I positioned them up just a little bit. I like that. I think that's pretty. But doesn't that create a pretty flourish for under to really show off that topper? Basically, remember when we talked last week and I said if a topper's small, you just have to do things to make it bigger? This was my making it bigger. We have one thing left to do on here. A small but important thing, and that is we need to put a little glitter on this dove. And I think she will be prettier. I don't know if it's a she or a he, but Mine's a she. I think it will be prettier if you outline the dove and don't put too awful much glitter on, just a little accent. So I'm coming around the outside of the dove, and I'm just kind of following some of the feathers in just a little bit extra on the feathers. Just kind of following those lines in just a little bit. And one of the things you're going to discover about this is that it's really the sparkle of the glitter and not so much the line of the glitter that you notice. So don't weird yourself out too much about making your lines perfect, or if you go outside the line. I'm going to go ahead and glitter that, and then I'll come back in and do the rest, because I don't want my glitter to pool too much between starting him and her. I called her a minute ago. I don't want my glitter to pool up too much while I'm continuing to color.
You're off camera.
I'm off camera, okay. Let me move back to the middle here. Okay, and again, I'm just going to kind of come up in those tail feathers just a little bit, just kind of following the line of the feathers. But I'm basically outlining with just that added little bit. I'll go back to where I started. But don't get too excited about whether your lines are exactly straight. It really doesn't matter a whole lot. Okay, we'll brush that off when it's dry, and I think we're going to be just right. So we'll set that off to dry for a second. And we'll clean up my glitter mess for the moment. I always manage to make a huge mess with my glitter. Ask any of my family or Margie, they'll tell you. Okay. Wet wipes do a pretty good job gathering some of the stray little bits of glitter off. Okay. Let's go ahead and work on our next one. We're going to do this one next. I don't know how I managed to sweep that all into one pile and then leave the pile there. This is the one we're going to do next. When I looked at this little sleepy, snowy village, I looked at that and thought, that has to be a shaker card, but it didn't have a frame, and I was sitting here thinking about how I might die cut myself a frame out of, using two shapes of circles or two shapes of squares to create myself a shaker card here. And Margie said, well, what about the ring on the outside of the dove? You said you're not going to use that. And I said, oh, yeah. Why not? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to steal the ring from the dove for our shaker card.
Alice asked, did you glitter the body and the wings of the dove?
Yes. I outlined the entire body, and then I followed the contour of the feathers on the wings. We'll take a close look when I can brush it off here in a minute, okay? So we're going to steal this ring.
Probably don't have to steal it, just use it.
Oh, I don't have to steal it, just use it, Bryce says. Okay. All right, I'm going to pop this little ring out, and we're not going to use this time. But these are good little pieces to bring back in on another card sometimes. So sometimes I just want to really focus on a piece in the card, and maybe it doesn't have any kind of foiling around that particular area. I like to use these later to really kind of highlight different areas. So save that ring that we're taking out. This is going to go on our inverse card. And what else do I need here? So I have my ring. I have my dove right here off my element sheet. I'm going to get my other piece of cardstock. I'm going to trade cardstocks here. I'm going to get my Snowy Village cardstock. I'll put this one away for now. And we're going to, this is where we're going. So we're also going to need that. We're going to need our 5x5. It's actually like 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 card out of our kit. We're going to need not that piece of Mirri, but the other piece. It's a little bigger. Yes, we're also going to need our acetate, which I grabbed on accident, but it was a happy accident. There we go. And you need this larger piece of Mirri. So we're going to start our adventure here on this card with covering our cards. So let's get that out here. Fold it. We haven't talked about this for a while. For the sake of those who are new, when a manufacturer makes these cards, you see this little line here that's obviously the score line. Their machine scores down on that line. That's an indication that that's where the score line will be, and it kind of breaks the fibers a little bit there and makes it easy to score. But the intent is that that is the outside of your score line. When you look, you'll see the little bump. That goes on the inside of your card. Now, does it make a whole lot of difference? It doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but sometimes it will make the difference of like a 1/16 of an inch or a 32nd of an inch, and you can end up with, you know, cards that fold. Sometimes you get cards that don't fold straight because they just are cheap cards and they didn't put the fold line in exactly the right place. Other times you get cards that just don't line up exactly. If you fold it the other way, you might find that it does line up exactly. So the way to remember this is, I always say, you know, since I was a young adult, I've been heavy. I always try to find ways to hide the fat. Hide the fat on the inside. You got that little roll on the inside, hide that on the inside. I've got Bryce rolling his eyes at me again, guys, but, you know, hide the fat. That's just a good way to remember it. Okay. I'm going to put my 3 rows of tape down. It just seems like that should fold the opposite direction, but they're intended to fold on that score line with the fold down from that score. Okay. Right. I'm going to cover my card, being careful to make sure that I am covering that fold line well, which we have done. Flip it over. Hey, how you guys doing? The people who are following along and making cards, you guys doing okay with the pace? And we'll trim this off. Let me know if I'm going too fast. Oh, the pace is good? Okay, thank you. If you guys haven't watched the first Christmas video I did this season, the Art Deco one, whether or not you're interested in the Art Deco style, I recommend checking that out, because I'm going to show you some ways in that video to use some of these little pieces of Mirri. I'm glad that is this your first time to chat, Mary T? Well, I'm so glad. Welcome, welcome, welcome. A little behind, but we'll glitter later. That's a great solution, Andrea. Okay, so we've covered our card with our Mirri. we're going to measure our card before we go further because sometimes cards are in odd sizes. As long as I have to move this from my board, I'm going to go ahead and sweep this off because I think that it should be ready. What do I do with my glitter sweeper? I can use this one. Okay, and can I come in here close without it getting too fuzzy? Hopefully you can see my glitter lines a bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to move back and forth so you can see that. Hopefully you can catch where the glitter is by moving this back and forth a little bit. Maybe if I catch a little bit more of the light over here. Can you see that okay, guys?
I think so. I can see it.
Thank you, Mirri Robertson. I had an awful lot of fun doing that, and the challenge to me was to make sure that I could stretch those supplies just as far as I possibly could. And so even these little pieces came in so handy with some of the stripes and some of the layering that I did. So that's a good video in terms of figuring out how to layer stuff up. Oh, I'm sorry your uncle passed this week, Avis. Okay, so yes, it's very subtle, but so elegant. That's just a beautiful way to put it. And that's what we're going for. We always want our glitter to be very subtle, but enhancing. And we never want to glob it on so that it ends up looking gaudy. That's what we get when we're doing these, when we're using this quickie glue pen and the fine line. We really get that. That's beautiful. Okay, good. I will make sure that I am continuing to move that in the light so that you can see those glitter effects, guys. Okay, this is going to be our base for our shaker card. We're going to start by measuring this. That's where I was going when I got distracted by brushing off the other. This is about 5 3/8 by 5. That's interesting. I did not change anything on this card, and yet it's like an 1/8 wider one direction than the other. So that's interesting, isn't it? I'm still going to go with the 5 3/8. So I'm going to cut this to about 5 1/8. I think I'm going to start there, and then we'll go from there. If I decide I want to trim it down a little bit more, that's okay. But I want to start with a little bit higher dimension and then trim it more if it needs it. So 5 1/8 by 5 1/8 gives us a pretty perfect border. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this one down. Remember, if we're gluing rather than using our tape flags, if we're gluing, rub that glue out just a little bit so that we're smoothing it in and you won't have a line in your topper. Okay.
A little off camera. Perfect.
Okay, I got just a tiny bit of glue down here on the bottom of my Mirri. I'm just going to take my wet wipe and wipe it off. And now it's perfect again. One of the advantages of glue is if it's off at all, you can kind of slide it with your thumb just a bit to get it exactly where you want it. Okay, and I'm liking that a lot. So I've got my base. Now I'm going to it's time to work on the window. So let's take this, we're going to use some tape. Glue does not stick particularly well to acetate. It just, you can make it stick, but it just is more susceptible to letting go. So even though it means you have to cut your pieces of tape to like, an inch long and use lots of pieces of tape to go around the contours of the circle, it's worth doing that. The other thing I may have to do is kind of fold the tape back on itself a little bit if it comes over the edge. I'll show you what I mean as I peel my tape up. But it's worth it to get a nice firm hold on our acetate. Would I have to do every inch? No, because this isn't what's sealing our shaker packet. This is just holding the window in, holding with our window theme. It's just what's holding the acetate into the circle.
I had a question early on. What do you do with all your cards? Do you actually send them out, or?
Oh, what? Somebody asked me what I do with all my cards?
All the cards you make, because you make so many?
I make a lot. I make a lot over Christmas. I will make 300 to 400 cards most likely over this season while I'm demonstrating everything. My number one thing I do is that at Christmas time, the favorite gift of all of my family members, and if you ask them, they will tell you that's their favorite thing they get every year. I make up a huge box of the cards that I've made all year, all occasion, and Christmas, and I give that to them as a Christmas present. I use a big box. Originally, the first year I did it, I gave them one of those card storage boxes with all the dividers in it for different occasions. And then every year now, I give them a resupply for all of those styles of cards, so that they can replenish their boxes every year. And I think I'm up to about a dozen of those card boxes to my family and friends that people have asked for those as their gift. So that's one thing that I do. Now, as I'm talking here, guys, I'm just working over my tape a little bit. And if I get a place on my tape where it's hanging over, you can't see that, it's only hanging over a tiny bit. But if it's hanging over, I just take my finger and push it back up on itself. That's okay. Just don't want it to be sticky on the edges because that's tacky. So I just go around, look for anywhere that it's hanging over, and I just push the tape back up on itself so it's not sticky around the edges. That makes sense?
Tape
So I
is
don't
tacky.
have... Excuse me?
Tape is tacky.
Bryce says tape is tacky. He's so clever, guys. He's so clever. And then, in addition to my gift boxes, we, the Crafty Friends, donate cards for some different charitable causes. And I also, my mom's friends, were all envious of her card box. They've all been envious. So, hi Daria, welcome.
She's in Spokane right now visiting.
Oh yeah, you're in our general neck of the woods. Say hi to Aunt Paula while you're over there. So we do. I sent a great big batch of my cards up to my mom's house so that her friends could shop through my card stash. So I don't usually list them online because to me, a lot of our customers do sell their cards, and it's okay with Hunkydory if you do that. But to me, listing one of a kind is not fun. I've got lots of supplies I need to list, and listing one at a time is not a good time to me. So, and if I wanted to make multiples of a kind, that would be an option. And some of you do that. You buy like 10 card kits of a time, of a kind of the ones that you like, and make up a bunch of them, and that's a good solution. So I sell my cards just privately. But that's kind of what I do with my cards. And then while we still have the kits available in the shop, I also hang them up in the shop on my bulletin boards. That's when we can have people in and out for classes. I keep my card samples of every style until we've actually sold out of that kit. So, boy, there's a long answer to a short question. What do I do with my cards? But that's what I do with my cards. Okay, I have taken my taped ring. I put it on my acetate. Now I'm going to just cut around there with my scissors, which is a pretty easy cut even with the circle because you've got the edge of that topper to guide your scissors. So I'm just going to cut that out. Is there a reason to use the foam? I will use the shaker tape when it comes to making this. So I will not use the foam squares for actually creating the shaker, Mirri, because what I was using here was my finger lift tape, and that's just to put the acetate on. To get the height and to seal the little packet, I will use the shaker tape. Which is next, actually. Thanks for that nice little introduction to the topic. We're going to pop this seal on this tape, maybe, as it's got a really good piece of tape there today. A little swig of my pop. Okay, and now we're going to put our shaker tape on. Remember our goal. Our goal is to get it as close as we can to the window without having it show. So we're going to run our shaker tape around this circle. I'm so very happy that Hunkydory finally came out with shaker tape. I've been asking for this for a long time, and I'm delighted that they actually created cost-effective shaker tape so that when we do your kits and things, we can just drop a whole roll in your kit. That was really a pain when we were trying to break rolls and roll them up to give you guys shaker tape off the bigger rolls. Okay, there we go. I'm going to clip it. Now I'm going to look at my seam, and if my seam is really good and tight, I'm not going to worry about anything else. If there's any question as to whether I'm going to have a full seal on that, I'm going to take another little piece, and I'm going to go right behind that in my seal, and I'm going to make sure that when I say my seal, I mean the seam where those two ends come together. If it needs it even questionably, then add another little piece to just make sure that that stays tight. This is not as big a deal with the size confetti that we're using here, although you can have confetti that gets out. It's a huge deal if you're using glitter. Because what your friends don't want when they shake your shaker card is to have the glitter spray all over their house. That is not a fun surprise. Confetti, not so bad. My mom loads confetti in my Christmas card every year. Not so bad with the confetti, but if it were glitter, oh my, that's not a pleasant surprise. Before I take my paper off, and you may or may not have one of these. I do not include these in the kits because it's kind of a one-time purchase thing. But I have my embossing pillow. We have these in the store. This is a little powder bag. And I'm going to mess up my window. I'm going to pounce this around on my window. I'm going to try and get it right into the side edges of my tape. Why? Because it will reduce the static electricity inside my little shaker compartment here, and then I won't have so many pieces that are actually just hanging up on the window. And if I can use this at the same time to kind of deactivate the tape on the insides, you know, because the edges, it is tape, it is tacky, to quote Bryce and Annette. It is tacky, and you have a little bit of stickiness on the outside. Well, it doesn't take much stickiness for that confetti to try and hold to that. So I'm trying to kind of deactivate the sticky on the inside. Now I'm going to rub my shaker tape down good. I'm going to be removing that, you know, taking some of that powder off the top of my tape as I'm just rubbing that tape down. And I'm going to go ahead and, oops, let's put our confetti in before I forget. I did that one week, remember? Then I had to peel it back up, and that was glue my little compartment shut, and that was messy. So let's put this snow. This is I think this is called like white cloud or something. We have these confetti in the store. We have so many nice confettis though. So I'm going to put this in here. I really like this one for this purpose though, because while it's white, we'll look at it again closer up for those of you who don't have a kit and are not working along today. It actually takes on the blue of the scene, so you have this light blue confetti. I'll show you when we have it sealed. You kind of have this what looks like iridescent light blue confetti in against that blue snow scene, which is gorgeous. Now you can see here, my window used to be perfectly clear. Now it's cloudy. Don't worry about that. It's going to be okay. The white spots are just the snowfall acetate, guys. Those are supposed to be there. But it's kind of powdery looking. That's okay. We want it to be. Because as soon as we shake this up and our confetti is doing its job, the cloudiness will get knocked off the top, and it will just help to reduce the static. So I'm putting my adhesive right down on top of my background image, and if I shake this up good, and sometimes it's good to put it upside down to shake it up. When I shake it up good, my window is now clear again. My snow can fall nicely inside. It's not all hanging up on the acetate. And we have a beautiful snow scene out of that corner piece. Isn't that fun? Annette says, who, me? What confetti do you recommend for your snow? We have so many wonderful confettis in the store, Kim. I'll put a link to that whole category. There's some beautiful, beautiful confettis in there. Sometimes I use confetti, sometimes I use beads, some people use glitter. We've got these little confetti vials this year that are really fun. It's like irregular shapes that are cut out of iridescent white. I think that's in one of the Christmas ones, maybe Jingle Bells or Let It Snow. There's like a set of 4 vials that have different colors, and it's got that beautiful iridescent white just cut in little shards. And that's really, really pretty. In fact, I use that in a couple of our samples in the download. Excuse me?
Is that the Nouveau brand?
Yes, all the Nouveaux. I really like the Nouveaux confetti. The one I don't recommend which is kind of interesting, is the one sold by Hunkydory. The one that's kind of like cut up snow that Hunkydory did, they, even with powdering the ring, they tend to stick more because it's like a lightweight mylar instead of a plastic, and they don't they don't perform as well. So that's the one you will never see me put in my shaker. I might use it as snow effects on something sometime, but I wouldn't use the, I would not use the snow as, their snow effects as shaker component. Now the one thing left to do is to have our pea stuff fly over the scene. So we're going to put some, I want my dove to face into the card. So I'm going to put my extra piece this time on the left. And I'm going to actually, sometimes I like to do this, I'm going to actually raise this entire thing because she's kind of flying in the sky over. So I'm going to layer my foam squares 2 deep here. So I'm just stacking one on top of the other. Stack one, peel it, and then put another one on top of it. So I'm raising this a little bit extra. It's underneath. They don't have to be tidy.
Could you have used your shaker tape?
I could have used my shaker tape, absolutely. Although, my foam square, my shaker tape, maybe it's just because sometimes we don't, it sells out and we don't have it. This is like a precious commodity. So I like to save my shaker tape because I can use foam squares for about anything. I can only use shaker tape for shaker tape. So I kind of am stingy with my shaker tape. I hang on to that generally to do my shaker cards. I could, yes, there's no reason why you couldn't use your shaker tape for this. The reason I put 2 layers here of these foam squares is because I want to put my dove up 1 more layer from my card. So I'm going to raise this just a little bit extra by having my dove sit on some foam squares on top. So here's this one, here's my sample. Both beautiful. I think they look pretty much the same this time. Aren't they pretty though? Oh, I love this snow scene. I just love it. I looked at that on that card and said, oh, this has to be a shaker. Okay, so we've got 3 out of 4 done. Next up, let's get our materials out and we will make our inverse card. When you look for them, these are temporarily sold out, but we have a shipment that should be arriving any day now of these inverse cards again. So if you're looking for these inverse easels and you're not seeing them on the website, it's because they're temporarily out, but they will be showing up again anytime. Our new distributor is so wonderful.
Not toward the camera.
Excuse me?
We can't see your card.
Here's where we're going. So this time we are going to use pretty much everything we have left. We will be using our Little Season's Greetings. We'll be using this pretty border, and as you know, even though the sides of the border are die cut, you have to snip the ends of these borders because otherwise they just pop right out. They don't stay in the paper at all, so they let us snip that little piece there. And these 2 can be used for something else. I have a great idea for you for those. You can either use them inside your cards, which is also really nice, or hang on till you see what I was working on last night, and there will be another idea for these. Okay, so I've got those. I've got, done with that. I need just this card blank, my big card blank. And I need my glitter paper. And I need my little supplies packet, which has my little dazzle let me show you why Brittany was upset with me over the number of supplies. This is the only dazzle I used in this kit. I put it in the middle of the snowflake. She said, does it have to be there? I said, yes. So she cut up a sheet of dazzle so that she could give you that one little dazzle right there on that snowflake bread. I need a snowflake. Ha! They gave me one that's not punched. Yours, they're not punched. They're not necessarily punched evenly, guys, but it doesn't matter. But I did go through and three-hole punch, or punch, not three-hole punch, but, well, some of you got 3 holes. Not because I intended to, but because that's what you got. I did go through and punch a hole for you to get your so that you can put your brad through it. So we're going to need the brad, the snowflake, the dazzle for our little embellishment there in the corner. Okay, we got our season's greetings, we got our border. We are also going to need our... What did I do with my dove topper?
Did you punch it out?
There it is. I punched it out when I took the ring off it. Okay, let's see. All right, let's start by folding our card. You will recall what I want you to do is kind of pre-fold these before you actually fold it hard. I want you to kind of pre-fold it just a little to help keep from bending this cardstock, creasing it as we finish it. So once I've pre-folded these, I'm kind of breaking those fibers a little bit, and then it will actually fold more nicely. So I've pre-folded on each of my fold lines. Now I'm coming in and actually pushing down on those folds. If you're folding it correctly, if your first fold is a mountain here, then you have a valley fold where it's kind of folding in on itself. You have a mountain at the top. You have mountain, mountain, and it ends up being an easel like this. Let me give you a minute to do that, because if this is your first one of these, it can take a minute to figure that out. So I'm just going to hold this here for a second, take a swig of my pop.
Mary's asking what kind of hole punch you were just using. She has not seen that before.
Oh, I love this hole punch. I've substituted all the other hole punches in my craft area for this one. We have this in the store. It's not cheap, but you will never, it's another one of those craft supplies that's going to last forever. It's from We Are Memory Keepers. It will do everything from 5/16 holes, which I like to use when I'm making banners. I've got 1/4 inch hole punch. I've got 3/16. I've got an 1/8 inch hole punch. And I've got a 1/16 inch hole punch. This one would be like if you're threading something through with a needle and thread. This one is what I just used for the snowflake, where you just want a little opening. This one is kind of your standard hole punch. This one, like I said, is great for finer ribbons and that kind of thing where you're winding that through. And this one for your banners. I use every element of this. It is just fabulous. And it's not terrible in price, but it's a bit of an investment. But once you have it forever, and you can get rid of all the rest of those. You have one tool.
It looks like it has a base to catch your little punches.
It really doesn't. This one doesn't.
Doesn't.
I just kind of shake them out every once in a while. They fall out through here too. This does not have a catcher.
Huh. Looks like it does.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's just a plate back there. Anyway, good question. Thank you. I'm glad you. Is it a sturdy punch? Absolutely, absolutely. It's a very, very sturdy punch. And you could You know, the opening here is 1/8 of an inch. I know that you could do heavyweight chipboard and, you know, probably 3 layers of 300 GSM paper and still punch through it just easily. It's from We Are Memory Keepers, and they kind of specialize in hole punches that are extra sturdy. Yeah, exactly. I love having one tool that will do lots of things. You are right about that, Mary. Okay. All right, we've got our card. Now, we are going to create our backer sheet here. Let's just cover our card first. Let's do that. So this one is actually surprisingly easy to cover compared to like our centerfold one and some of those, which take a little bit more. This is a fairly easy one to cover. We are going to run some tape down these long kind of columns. Run a piece of tape down each side though, because we want to hold our cardstock really firmly to that. So let's run a couple pieces of tape down each side. Then let's do a small piece of tape between the 2 columns at the bottom and a small piece of tape right at this opening. Okay, so I've got 6 pieces of tape on mine. Okay, I'm going to rub my tape in a little bit just to make it easier to peel. Now I'm going to expose all of that adhesive at one time. I don't suppose you'd have to if you didn't want to. If you want to kind of control the amount of tape showing at one time, that'd be okay. Anywhere the tape overlaps just a little bit, just push it back on itself. That little piece of tape hanging at the bottom there, and you can see I just used my thumb and just pushed it back up. I can't wait to show you guys what I was working on last night. I'm so excited about it. What if I told you you could make 8 Christmas gifts for $4 a piece? 8 Christmas gifts, nice gifts that people are going to like having for $4 a piece. Yes, I am such a tease. But I'm going to show you this one because I'm really excited about it. Okay, now my most important area to make sure I get fully adhered on this one, I think, is probably the tops of these columns. So I'm going to overlap that just a little bit. You have plenty of this blue paper to get you through, guys. Man, is that pretty. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so I have this big old thing going on here. I'm just going to start trimming. I'm going to trim this big piece off the bottom. I love, love, love this color. And it goes...
Darla, she's happy to...
Oh, you're having to leave us? Okay, we'll see you on the rewind. Thanks for dropping in, Darla. Okay, I'm going to trim. This is white on the back, and my cardstock's white, so I have to look what I'm doing here. Sorry about getting my head right into your shot, but I had to see what I was doing. Oh, it wasn't? Good. Okay, I'm going to trim this up here. See, these are really easy trims, I think. Everything's a straight line. Now I'm going to, I overlapped this just a little bit in the back, so I'm going to trim this across the top, and then I'm just going to clip this piece out of the middle. And this takes a little bit more finesse, but you know, it's still pretty easy. I'm going to come right down the inside here. I'm going to clip the two sides probably first, and then I'll clip the bottom. I'm going to come right down inside here. Trying to be careful not to clip my card as I go. And now I'm going to kind of lift this up. I might have to straighten this up just a little bit when I'm done, but I'm going to take this last piece out. That actually looks pretty good. Okay, now you will notice this. This is not mismanufactured. See how this hangs down a little bit further? It won't do that when it's open. It is not mismanufactured. Let me show you why they do that. Because this still has to fold up to go in an envelope. So by making this part just a little smaller, we can close this all up when we're done. That's why it's shaped that way. So it's not mismanufactured. If it's a little higher, it's supposed to be that way. Okay. Next. Oh, keep this because we have some great uses. Actually, I guess we're going to use some of this. Never mind. We're going to use some of this. This piece right here, this piece that we clipped out of this area, this will work perfectly for what we want next. We need our other piece of Mirri. I omitted that from the supplies when we started talking about them. I'm going to get my ruler out here, which you know I don't use very often, but I do have one. Okay, this piece that's going in the back here measures 3 1/8 by 4 1/4. I'm going to cut myself a piece of mirror board that's 3 1/8 by 4 1/4. And if I measured that all right, this should slide right in here, and it does. Okay, 3 1/8 by 4 1/4. Now I'm going to cut this piece to be 1/4 inch smaller. So I want this piece, one of these two sides is the one I trimmed off by hand. I can't tell which one it is. I think I'm going to start here by, I'm just going to trim this up. I'm going to use the grid lines on my cutter to make sure that I trim this so everything is nice and straight first. Because I did cut this by hand and it won't be as tidy as some of my other cuts. So I'm going to use my grid lines just to straighten it up a little and get myself a nice square piece to work with. And I've got room to spare because I am cutting this a little smaller in the meantime. So I'm just using my grid lines just to square it up. Then I'll measure it and I'll be happier with my results. I'll just trim this up just a little bit so it's nice and square. Okay, so this was 3 and, well, maybe I'll just hold it up here to begin with. I want to take, this is just where I am after just trimming it up. I'm going to take a little more off both the width and the height. I have quite a bit more height than I need, so I'm going to trim this to probably 4 to start with. I'm going to take just a little bit off my width. Then I'm going to hold it up again, and I'm going to keep doing that till I see that I like what I've got. And actually I think that, maybe just a tad more. I could take just a little bit more off the length. And maybe I'll take just a little bit more off the width too. I just keep coming down until I get what I want, guys. I like that. Now I've got a nice border all the way around. I'm going to glue this in place. But it's a great idea I left because I can relate. I only use a ruler. Yeah, me too. But some of the glitter on your mini strips are good for Inside easel cards. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. This is really heavy cardstock. It is not going to show. So I'm not bothering to run around it with my finger. It's always a good idea, but I know that I am not going to get a ridge line on this glitter paper because it's really heavy. Okay, so I've got that beautiful piece. Now I am going to be mounting my dove. And I think I'll wait to put the dove on it until I actually have this piece in. Let's see. Make sure that everything. Now see, that came up just a little short for some reason, but you know what? It really doesn't matter. Just make sure it comes clear to the top because you don't see the bottom anyway. Okay? So if I glued it straight in, I'd have a little 1/4 inch at the top, but if I bring it clear up to the top, it's just not going to show. So I'm going to, how do I want to do this? I think I'll use glue again. I'm really into gluing today, guys. Maybe it's because I was gluing at 3 o'clock this morning. On that thing I haven't shown you yet. Oh, you guys make me happy. I like teasing you. Okay. So it just slides right in there, just nice as can be. That's beautiful. Oh, we're not done yet, and it's already beautiful, guys. Okay, that paper. Oh, that paper's just stunning. Okay, let's put some foam squares on our dove. I think we want it to set up a little bit from there. Normally, and maybe we should do it this time too. Normally, I would say that if you are putting foam squares on something onto mirror board, it's not a bad idea, or not mirror board, glitter card. Put glue on the back of your foam squares, because if the glitter sheds at all, it won't let go of your foam squares. This paper is not going to shed. The glitter is actually embedded in it, and it's not coming off at all. I haven't seen a single blue flake. It doesn't come off at all, but it is a little bit rough, and it will hold better if it's got just a touch of glue on the bottom of your foam squares. So let's put some foam squares on. I need to know where the sides of my bird are because I don't really want the foam squares hanging off the back. And so I think what I'll do is just put all of my foam squares in just a little bit from where I normally would. I'll go like this, and that way I can position it any way I want in there, and I don't have to worry about my foam square sticking to the inside of my card, which will happen if they overlap too much. And I'm going to put a couple in the middle, and then I'm going to peel my paper, and I'm going to put just a little micro dot of glue on each one of them, just to keep it really secure against that glitter paper, just because it's a little rougher. It's not terribly rough. It's just a good practice to get into with glitter paper, though. Just a little dot. It doesn't take much. It's just a little extra hold. Okay? Got a little dot of glue on each one. If you guys don't have this glue bottle, invest the $2 and get yourself one. You see, I use it in every class. That's because they are just fabulous. And for the price, it is an investment everybody needs. I'm going to go a little bit higher in this one than I did in my last bird. I'm watching, and I'm also going to watch my horizon line a little bit. See how your horizon line is back there? Let's watch that horizon line and put it in so that the horizon is straight, which is going to set my bird up just a little bit from what I did last time. Let me show you what I'm talking about. My bird is kind of leaned forward there. My bird is kind of leaned upward a little bit more because I'm doing a better job with my horizon line on this one. Okay. Wow, we are making great progress, guys. Okay, now I want to I'm going to poke a little tiny hole with my scissors. We want to be down about the size of my snowflake, actually, from the bottom, or from the top, I mean. So I want to be down. Use your snowflake to help position that. You do have a hole in the middle of your snowflake. And I'm going to poke just a little hole with my scissors through my cardstock. Yes, I could use my nifty jifty hole punch. I just find it easy to just poke a little hole right where I want it there. Now I'm going to take my brad, which has probably been flattened out for shipping. Don't worry. It'll fold right back in. I take my brad. I'm going to bend the legs of my brad back up straight. I'm going to put it through my snowflake, through the center. If you have multiple holes in your snowflake, don't worry. Just kind of center it on there. It'll be fine. Oops. That would have worked well if I'd had both legs feeding it through, but I didn't. Let's try that again. Alrighty. Yeah, sometimes I notice things about my own samples when I'm done, Alice, and then think, well, I'll do that better next time. Okay, now that worked great. It's amazing what happens when you get both legs through at one time. I'm going to go ahead and put my brad through my card. Come on, are you? Okay, it's just being firm to go through because that's some heavy layers it's going through. So I'm going to feed that brad through there. Probably pull it a little from the front too. Oh, I thought that might be happening. One of the legs of my brad is still not behaving nicely. Hang on. I gotta straighten that up again. I had it bent funny. Okay. Get those lined up right. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. It shouldn't be difficult to put in a brad. I'm the only one I know of who can do an hour-long class on feeding a brad through a hole. Oh dear. I did it again. Wow. Okay, this is being a real pain. I may grab myself a new one in a minute, but maybe I won't because you guys will have to use the one you have. So I'm going to keep working it till I get it. But it may be an hour-long class. If anybody needed to catch up, this has been a good opportunity. I can claim I did it for that. We all know differently. You know what I just do with that acetate? And just drop it. Where'd it go? I've lost my snowflake. Come on. There it is. On the floor.
Several on the floor.
Ah! It's getting away from me. Now I shot it off somewhere. My chair doesn't roll out from under me, we'll be in business. Okay. You guys do that? Do you work half the time on the floor where you drop your stuff? I do. Maybe it's just me. I shouldn't confess that because maybe it's just me at the whole world. Maybe I'm the only one who plays with all my supplies on the floor. Absolutely. Thank you, Kim. I feel so much better about myself now. Okay. Both those legs to go through that hole.
Brenda says she does too.
Oh, good, Brenda. Thank you, friend. Even if you don't really, and you're just making me feel better about myself, I'm grateful.
There too.
Oh, okay. I finally got my brad on, guys. Yay! Now, for that touch of all touches, thank you, Brittany, for cutting up these sheets of tassels so that we could have this one extra little touch here. But when you put it on, you'll agree. Here's without, okay? Here's with that extra bit of shine in the center. Now, wasn't it worth it for Brittany to cut up all those dazzles so we could have that extra bit of shine? Now look, isn't that pretty? The way it catches the light. It needed that. Problem I got. Yeah, I hear you, Annette. I don't get down on the floor. I call for help. Okay. Now, you guys have inserts. If Brittany was here, she'd say, oh, Debbie, give it a rest, because I'm always complaining that I don't have inserts. Because I don't have insert paper, I have to trim off a little differently inside. You could still do the same thing, though. I would still recommend bordering this. This is what I did to the inside of mine last time, and I do love the way the Easy Peely, I used a nice long verse. And, oh, it's really beautiful one, too. This one, the one that I used is, the Yuletide season warms our hearts, and so we send this year best wishes of comfort and joy to loved ones far and near. For Jesus Christ was born of love to bless the earth with peace. May Christmas spirit fill your home. Its blessings never cease. Now, is that like the perfect verse for this peace dove, the peace on earth dove? Oh, I love that. So it's perfect for this one. Now you got this nice long piece of mirror board left over from our trimmings. So I'm going to trim it just a little bit more. I want this to be about 1 inch wide. Now I'm going to take a piece of this blue and I'm going to make it 3/4 of an inch or thereabouts wide. I'm going to put this on top of my Mirri, just so I kind of catch that gold again. And I'm going to, I can tape this on just fine. This will hold really well. So I'm going to put a piece of tape there.
Betty's comment.
To put these two. Fiona says, hello. We get to meet the new baby tomorrow. Yay! Hello, Fiona. Welcome, friend. Oh, I'm so happy for you and that new baby, Betty. With all the craziness going on in the world, is there anything at all that's more peaceful and lovable than a baby? That's going to be great. Congratulations. Okay, I got a little piece of my tape hanging over. I'm just folding it back on itself. I'm going to put this right on top of my Mirri, allowing just one side of my edge to show. Boy, I love that. That's beautiful. And now I am going to use shaker tape for this one. And I'm going to run, why? Because I want it to stand up a little bit higher. And the shaker tape is 3 millimeters. So I'm going to run this shaker tape across. It's going to be a little longer than I need, but that's okay. I'll trim off what I don't need. I'm going to run 2 pieces of shaker tape under this so it's nice and steady for my stopper. I'm going to position this along the front of my card. Okay, along the front. It's a little extra long, so I'll just trim off the edges. I want it to be right out to the edge of my front. I'm putting the gold towards me. I'm going to trim off my extra. Just a tiny little bit of extra here and here. There we go. I have a nice stopper now. Next up, let's put our beautiful ribbon. Now, doesn't this look just like lace? Somebody said that before when we looked at this. Doesn't this look just like lace? I want my laciness headed down. I think that looks better than this way. So I want the lace to lay down. So I'm going to put my pretty piece of lace right here across the top. If perchance you have white showing here at the top of this lip, then raise this lace up just a little bit, because that will cover any white that's showing where you may have trimmed that. If you don't, then just place it where you like, but I like it right here. So I'm going to put some tape here, and I'll be positioning my border there. That, once again, we're on glitter paper, so it's not a bad idea. It wouldn't have been a bad idea to use glue here instead of tape, but since I know this paper does not shed, then tape is fine. Oh. Okay. All right, I am positioning my border here. I will trim off my extra. That's a nice piece of border left over. Okay, and then I have my season's greetings that I'm going to put up on some foam squares because I want that added dimension. So I'm going to find my foam squares again. Or I'm going to grab that shaker tape, which I said I'm so stingy with. I see my foam squares over there now, but I'm still going to use this since I got it in my hand. And I'll put my season's greetings on. Just to be safe, I will add just a little tiny line of glue to this foam square. There we go. Foam rectangle, as the case may have been there. I'm actually centering this on the gold line at the bottom of that border, right? Because that's where I think it looks good. No other reason. And I will put my easy peely in after a while. If you were lining this with insert paper, line this, then put your border on top. And if I had a liner in this, this would look extra good. But there we go. It is done, and it is spectacular. How's that, guys? Isn't this pretty? I love this one. Just love it. And when it's laying down, my catch, my stopper there is perfect for it. And even though we have a lot of dimension in this card, this will still fold up. Go right into an envelope. So there we go. Okay. You guys want to see what I've been working on now? Bryce says don't let him see, but I'm going to let you see. Because I'm nicer than him. Okay, save these scraps. You're going to see why. These pieces that are over about 2.5 inches wide, save those. Save them from everything for a little while. Oh, there's my extra. Okay. These little scraps I think can go, although these maybe I might use. These can go. I'll clear off my space just a little bit so I can show you, because I have things to spread out. There's more foam squares. I'll keep that piece of border because I might find a use for that in my new project. I am going to introduce to you something that is going to knock your socks off. This is the thing that I said that we are coming up as a class. I'm sending you enough materials in your kit to make 8 units. If you haven't guessed already, it's what you asked about last week. when you ask about gift boxes. Well, let me show you what I've come up with for gift box project for you. These are our gift boxes, and our gift idea, you'll notice I have a couple different colors of Mirri here. Your kits will include 4 different patterns of mirror board. Each sheet of mirror board will make 2 boxes of this size. Using our adorable scoreboard, I have made the boxes. Wait, I know you're also including box bottom paper, of course. So let me show you what I have created. Here are some of the gift tags that I worked into the night on. Your kit will include this tag die,
which has a wonderful tree die in it too.
Yes, it does. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Oh.
Look at these wonderful Victorian images. You're getting an entire book of paper. I'll show you that in a minute. You're getting an entire book of paper, and I took all these images from there. You're getting the wonderful spot varnished background paper. Here's these. I would say this right here is one gift set. That's a dozen tags. They're absolutely stunningly beautiful. Here's a second set of tags I made using my, oops, this was supposed to be with those. There's a second set of tags I made using my book of paper that I'm sending in the kit. The paper in the kit is not as heavy a cardstock as I would like for a gift tag, so I cut 2 tags, one out of cardstock. I'm including lots of cardstock in your kit. But these wonderful Victorian kind of greetings on these. There's a second set of tags. There's a second gift worth. I didn't make up 8 gift boxes just to show you today. I'll make more when we're working together. The adorable scoreboard, when you use that to make your gift tags, it automatically makes the top of the box slightly larger than the bottom of the box, so they slide on easily. Let's see what else we have here. One of these I manufactured incorrectly, so okay, here we go. It's a little tighter than it should be. Look at these. We are going to do a project where we are using Christmas napkins to make gift tags. These are cut from napkins, and I've included 3 of them in your kit, as well as the adhesive paper I used. I glittered these for fun. I hope you can see the glitter because it's stunning. Can you see the glitter on them? Up close, they're beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And there's a bunch of these. Because you get a bunch of each. Huh?
Do they get the cords in
You get the cords as well. You're going to have you're going to have 15 yards of cord in a total of 3 colors. You get gold, silver, and iridescent white. See the iridescent white on these? It matches the glitter. This one I used gold on, but we have these wonderful Christmas foliage napkins in there. You're going to get one of those. You're going to get beautiful poinsettia papers. I think your poinsettia papers are slightly different than these. Yours actually have more red, but this is what I had after I made the kits, so I just made up my sample using something different. So about a dozen gift tags to a box is what I usually recommend. You can make them bigger if you want to, but a dozen is a nice fill for your box. And How beautiful are those? Now, when we make these, we're going to have paper left over from our boxes. We're going to have trim off from our Mirri. And also in your kit, you get this spectacular layered tree die. So I gave you 4 different colors of glitter paper. You get white, you get silver, you get blue, and you get green glitter paper to make your trees. And you can make tags out of your leftover Mirri. Whoops. Okay, that one came untied. I'll tie that back. But you can make tags out of your leftover mirror board. So there's 3 kinds of tags. Let's see what we've got here. We've got tags out of your box. We've got tags off of napkins. We've got tags using your leftover trimmings. But I didn't want to forget the kids because this is a really, really fun project with kids. So I'm also including some smooth cardstock, which works best with rub-ons, and some sheets of rub-on stickers. All of these tags that I'm showing you here were made from 1 sheet of rub-ons. I'm including 2 full sheets of rub-ons in your kit. So we've got tags with words, we've got tags with trees, tags with Santas. All of these rub-ons, and even the rub-on stick, are in your kit. You get 2 sets of rub-ons. That's 4 styles of tags. These are wonderful gift for people with children, just really cute tags. And I think I got 17 tags out of 1 sheet of rub-ons, which, by the way, rub-ons are great for children of all ages. I had a great time playing with them. So we're going to do 4 styles of tags, plus make the boxes, and you get an ultra-rich kit. May I have one of those, please? I just want to show you the kit because it's amazing. It's amazing. So we're putting this on as a new class on the schedule. We'll use the adorable scoreboard, and you get so much in here, you just won't believe it. Let's take a look at this that my honey has all sealed up really pretty, and now I'm going to mess it up. Look at the size of this kit, guys. Wowee. It's great fun, Kim, and the kids are going to have a blast. And it's nice to have something that you guys can all do together. I was thinking about you. I was thinking about Betty and her grandkids that she crafts with all the time. This is just going to be a really super fun kit for use with your family. And even if you don't have kids coming over, I'm just telling you, the rub-ons are really, really fun. Okay, let's look at this kit. You're just not going to believe what I packed in here. Okay, I told you about it, but you got to see it. Here's our die with the tree. It's bigger than it looks on the front of the package. It's actually a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-piece tree, and then the tag, which is the size we show it, and I actually think it's almost a perfect size tag. If you already have a tag die, though, get that out when you're working on this kit, because it's really nice to, as long as you're running this stuff through your cutter, to be able to run more than 1 tag at a time. So get your other tags out if you have them. 15 yards, 45 feet of cord in different colors. A full roll of 1/2-inch super sticky tape. Whoever gets this book will forgive me if I break the seal, I think, so I can show you the inside. What do I do with my little scissors?
They're on your table somewhere.
Yeah, they are. But I always lose things. I'm going to just break the seal here so you can see this paper pack. You're getting a full 6.5-inch paper pack. Okay, let's look here. It's beautiful. Look at the poinsettia papers. You got that Victorian Santa in this corner.
Right.
This will be beautiful background.
Yeah.
The white will be beautiful background paper. You've got all these little tags. Now, my temptation would be to cut these images out separately for gift tags because they're perfect for gift tags, but you could cut your whole tag out of this too if you wanted. You've got nice background papers. We've got this beautiful brick paper. This is spot varnished. Spot varnish means shiny paper. Elements are shiny. I don't know if you can see it in your light, but there it goes. I got it. Yeah. It's spot varnished on the... Look at that poinsettia. Isn't that gorgeous? This background. These are spot varnished. Can you see that? Hopefully. Yeah, see the spot varnish on there? You have polka dotted background. These are just perfect with the Victorian images. Spot varnish green. This is what I use behind the Santa tags. I love this. We've got this tan color. Here's my Santa images, as well as some of the other images I used on my other Victorian tags. There's 2 sheets of those, so you can get a whole set of tags. Look at this. Spot varnished red music. Oh my gosh, it's pretty. 2 of the kind of damask pattern there. Look at this spot varnish green. Beautiful. These are die cut tags that you can pop out and put right on your tags. These borders, we probably have to cut those up a little bit and get creative with those. There's a couple of them that will work really well on tags, and others are a little big, but look at these beautiful die cut pieces. Say hi to Bob, he just came in to visit with us. Look at all these little die cut pieces that we can use on your tags. This is just like a perfect book for this project. So you get that entire book. You get 2 full sheets of rub-ons. And I was able to use every single rub-on here except the Season's Greetings, which would be absolutely perfect on some of the cards from Cute. I didn't have it when I did my Santa and Friends, but this would have been perfect. This big greeting here would have been perfect with some of the Santa and Friends images. Everybody saying hi. Kim says hi. Alice says hi. Brenda says hi. Andrea says hi. Jordan says hi. Jordan Hamilton, his granddaughter. Hello, Jordan. Here's our napkins that are included in your kit. Now you might think, well, how much am I going to get from a napkin? Well, these fold out 4 ways. You're going to get a lot of tags from one napkin. And I'm going to show you how to separate those easily. And here's the trees I used. It's 4 parts also. Look at this beautiful poinsettia with the blue. So you're getting that. Look at this cardstock, guys. Here's your basis for your tags. I cut up 4 full pads of paper for the 18 kits I created in this one. I only made 18 because that's how many dies I had. You guys get first crack at it because you're here in class today, and I haven't promoted it anywhere else yet. But you get all these beautiful colors of cardstock. Check this out. You get 4 sheets of this beautiful glitter card. You get blue. Look at that blue. I thought these would be the colors that the trees would be beautiful in. You get this beautiful blue, silver, white, and green in the glittered cardstock. And I want what? I can't read it.
I want one.
Oh, I want one. Here are the box tops. We can get 2 boxes from each sheet. A total of 8 boxes. Here are our box bottoms. And you're getting 4 cards of this extra heavy paper. And we can get 8 box bottoms from these 4 sheets. And you get 2 sheets of paper. Yes, you're welcome. I sat and put the adhesive on all of these sheets. You get 2 sheets of this adhesive backed heavy card for our napkin project. And that is the kit. You're probably wondering how much I'm going to price this for if you get all of this. You get 8 gifts out of this one kit, and the kit is $32. It has $47 worth of stuff in it at retail. It's going to be $32, which I thought was a pretty good deal given the absolutely beautiful quality of the gifts we're going to manufacture from this. It's just stunning. It's just stunning. And I'm so happy that I could put together a kit that you guys asked for and still have something, you know, that you could share with your friends, that you can play with your kids or your grandkids, that you can make gifts you're really proud to give. I will be absolutely proud to give these gift tags. They're gorgeous. Here, you want to take that? So it's amazing what we're doing with that. Okay, Bryce is telling me I got to say goodbye, Gracie, but let me I just want to remind you about what else is coming up in classes. So this is just 4. You're getting 8 of these boxes, guys. Amazing. So that's what I was working on last night. I'm going to have a video or a class coming up. I'm almost thinking I might do this in a video because it's really, really easy to do. But we've got these spinner cards coming up. I may just do a short video on this one as opposed to making this a class because it's really easy. Okay, and these spinners are just such fun. They're just such fun. The kids are going to love these. Oh, you got to send these to anybody who's got a kid in the household. Or like me, you know, when I'm 90, I'll still be playing with these things because I love them. So we've got that class coming up. We just put Snowman on the schedule, so he's out there now. And you get these beautiful snowman cards. One like we just did, except this is the center step version of the easel we did today. In other words, the panel comes out instead of being recessed. You got the beautiful snowman cards. That class is coming up. We've got, I just got this listed, or Brittany, I can't say I did. Brittany just listed this one yesterday. I'm so excited about the Rockin' Robin, guys. I can't stand myself. The Rockin' Robin card. Brittany wrote a really cute listing for this, whether you want to buy the kit or not. Read her listing because it's cute. She was so tickled with herself when she was writing it. We're getting 5 cards out of that, and I'm going to show you a 6th card design you can make out of your leftovers. So very cute. So we got that coming up. We've got our timeless collection with the clocks. Love this. This just speaks to me. I don't know. There's just something about it that it's better right side up. That just speaks to me when I look at this one. I love this clock set. And Bryce brought it over so I can give you a sneak peek. Here's the Barbie dress. Can you believe that? How's that strike you guys? You're probably looking at that saying, I can't do that. Well, that's why I think we need to insist that Margie come and walk us through what she did and how she did it. Yeah, this is the one that I was teasing about being a headless Barbie doll. How beautiful is that? Oh my gosh. And I will tell you that her other cards in this Barbie series are equally stunning. Oh my gosh. So, that's what I get. If you are watching this video and you're liking what you're seeing, please give me the thumbs up. That's my attaboy to know that I'm doing what you like and that we're on the right track. And if you enjoy our channel, hit that subscribe button if you would, please. Not only will YouTube suggest to you our different videos that we have out there, maybe some that you haven't seen yet, it will also help me from the standpoint of our statistics. The higher our statistics go, the more they recommend our videos to other people. So that's a terrific thing that you can do for me if you would. And that way we can reach more people and have more crafty friends join us. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, do that. It is so important that you get on that newsletter and that you get the codes and things, because right now we have a code going on Hunkydory and you don't want to be missing that. So get on that newsletter if you're not already on there. If you need help with your newsletter, just email me. I will be happy to help you. If you leave me a comment and say, please get back to me in the comments below, I won't have your newsletter address, so I can answer your comment, but I won't be able to contact you. And you shouldn't put your phone number really in here, or even necessarily your email address. It's better if you come right through our website, and there's a contact me button on our website. So if you ever need help, use that button. I check my emails every day, and I think people will tell you I'm generally great about answering. And if there's ever any issues with your orders or anything, always let me know. We do, I think our girls do a terrific job, but I sure want to be there for you. So thank you for your time. Again, Bryce is over there saying, say goodbye, Gracie. So I'm going to say goodbye, Gracie. Love you guys. Thanks for being there. And we will see you on Thursday.
Kim's asking, when will the tag set kit be available?
The tag kit will be available later today. I just finished it last night. I just priced it, and I am going to put that up on the website when we finish class today. So the tag set will be available very soon. And there's only 8, there's actually only 17 because I have to use one of them. So there's 17 kits available, guys. Be sure if you want that, you go get it, because when they're gone, I don't have any more of the dies. See you guys. Bye.